Thank you for tuning in to the Phillip Scott Show. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I am a proud contributor. So, a lot of times we hear people say, it's men's fault. And this is why we are in the situation we're in society, right? So, we hear people say that often because they think, well, men are supposed to be the leaders. So, if there's a breakdown, there's a downfall, it's their fault. But we fail to realize that sometimes it can be women's fault too. We have to hold ourselves accountable. So let's take a listen to a video where a woman said where she has made mistakes. And I think we should kind of live by some of these things that, she said, taking the time to realize that we were at fault in some of our situations, that we can't grow until we make that acknowledgement. Let's take a listen.
Well, yes, I'm always going to speak up for men. And having 3 grandsons, that's a big part of it. Having son-in-laws, that's a big part of it. But baby, being divorced 3 times, you heard me, has taught me several things. Number 1, you don't have to marry everybody that asks you, because they're not right for you, and you ain't right for them. And there are men that don't deserve you, and there are men that you don't deserve until you're ready. I'm experienced in both. You see, number 1 and number 3 didn't deserve me. Number 2, I damn sure didn't deserve him. And I learned from all 3 relationships because I chose to. But I learned the most from the one that I didn't deserve at the time. And holding myself accountable for the things that I did in that marriage, I believe is one of the main reasons why my final and 4th marriage, final 4, corny I know, will hit 20 years on September 2nd, 2022. Has it been perfect? Nah. Is it working? Hell yeah. And I'm helping other men through my experiences.
Right. And so she said she's speaking from her own experience, right? From the marriages, the relationship she's been in, the children, the grandchildren she has that are all men. And she's come to see things throughout her lifetime where, you know what? I messed up on some good opportunities. I missed out on a good man. And a lot of women can probably account to that, right? When they were in their 20s, they missed out on good men because they thought those men were lame. They were corny. They were boring. And then now they're in their 30s and I'm like, okay, well, I wish I could get that man now. And then there's women who, want to make changes. I see women saying, I'm tired of being a good girl. And I want to have my 3 or 4 season, right? And then they're going through that phase of the hot girl summer. And then before you know it, they wake up and more time has gone by and they're like, well, why can I not find someone who's good, right? Because you were going through this season, and while you were in this season, the men who were, men who were accomplished, they don't want to be with someone who's going through this 3 or 4 season. They want respectable women the same way you want respectable men. And I can say, as a woman who's married, as one who has brothers, who has fathers, who has sons, I want to make sure that I have my sons grow up realizing that there are things that, they should look for. Right. And there's things that I could have done better and things. And of course, they would see it through my marriage, how I, make my marriage work by holding myself accountable and being the best version of myself. This is why I do the videos I do. This is why I talk about content where women can get out of that. Well, I just want this man. I deserve this man, without making sure we meet the qualifications, because just like jobs, we can't just show up and think because we have a piece of paper that says we do things that our actions can't show it, right? We need to show in our image that we are what we say we are on paper, because a lot of times people are not looking at the paper. What they see is what they're going to believe, and what they see is their reality. Their perception is their reality. So what image and what brand are you portraying? Are you thinking that you got it together? And I'm going to do some videos and have some accomplished men that I've spoken to, and they said, and I said, well, why is it so hard for you to find good women? You guys are accomplished. You guys are pretty noble and respectable men. What's going on? And they said a lot of women are entitled. A lot of women that think that they should get with this guy, and they see all the money he has. They even said that when they go on first dates, people are asking what their net worth is. And they're like, it's not that I don't have money, but why should I have to tell you what I have? What have you done to show that you need to know all of this? Because a lot of women, it is their mindset. They may have it, and they said they may have it together, on paper. They may have the career and all of this going on. They may even have the body image, right? But their mindset is there. We talk about mind, body, and soul, right? A lot of people have the body, they have the brand, they have the image, but they don't have the mind. Or their mindset is right, but they're not doing anything with their image, their body. So a lot of times we as women want to be accomplished career-wise, but not just be accomplished in the home, not to be accomplished as far as having all the healing that we need. We're not well-rounded. We think either our looks should be enough, the fact that we have this money should be enough, but this is not what accomplished men want. And as soon as you realize where you went wrong in relationships, the sooner you realize where you were, being overly dependent, because there is a fine line between someone who can do for themselves and someone who is pushing people away, thinking that they don't need anyone. But that's part of relationships. You need each other. It's called interdependence, right? I can do bad all by myself, but I accomplish a lot more when I have my husband there. And same thing. He can do great. He can do all those things without me that he's already doing. But me by his side is really helpful because we help each other grow. We add value to each other's lives. And as soon as we stop thinking that we are all that and there's nothing that we need to do to grow as a people, you won't have the accomplished relationships that this lady is in this video saying. Now she has the relationship that is thriving because she realized her faults and now she's growing from it. If you don't realize your faults, how can you grow? Right? All right. So it's not all men's fault. And no, it's not all women's fault. But I do find it really hard for women to want to hold themselves accountable, liking to admit fault. So you can be right, or you can be living single. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Phillip Scott Show. My name is Danielle DeVita. To learn more about my content, you can go to mrsdanieldevita.com or visit me on social media platforms. Take care.